it seems like something can happen with attitude. And
yeah,
and when Lou came, using Lou as an example, when Lou came, the Reds had a really good team, and they had been finished second number of years in a row until the Pete debacle in '89. But it was just a matter of somebody changing the attitude. Now, he took a second-place team and made it a first-place team, not a last-place team. Mm-hmm. But something needs to click in people's heads. And that obviously Brian Price isn't doing it. Joey Votto's not doing it. I don't know who. If
they brought guys with attitude. I mean, you had Randy Myers come over. I mean, that was all attitude.
Right, and there aren't. We're all saying the same thing. There aren't people on this team that you just look at and they would get in a fight. They would go in an alley and get in a fight and come out and not be scared and go out and come out on top.
Well, and you know they just don't really seem to have that drive. I mean, you just don't see excitement out there, and you know, especially at this stage in the season. I understand it's a long season, and you're in August, but you've got a whole team full of young guys out there, and this is a team that you need to learn how to win at some point in time. And also, you've got a whole team of guys who, for the last 2.5 years, cannot win one-run games. They cannot win extra inning games. When do you get a chance to start learning that killer instinct to put a team away?
Yeah,
or
and
to
if you're not doing
behind?
that either, have fun.
You know what?
Bring some fun to it at least.
You know what everybody's talking about here? I'm sorry, what everybody's coming back to here is Brian Price.
Yeah.
Everybody's coming back to a guy that's supposed to make it fun, make it a business, have a little fire, provide a little leadership, and he comes off as a nice guy.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, as they look at this thing and try to piece it back together again, if that guy is indeed under contract for next year, you bring him back. Who do you go to? Everybody says, well, Barry Larkin is going to be the next manager of the team. They're not going to introduce him into this mess next season. But you certainly have got a situation here where you got to come to, I think you got to have a come to Jesus meeting with your general manager, your owner, and the manager and say,
and Ivan de Jesus.
And Ivan de Jesus.
Yeah, get him in
and
there.
unless you know, we start having a little more fire and brimstone and attitude like we got to win, rather than some guy sitting there looking like, you know, he's hoping he gets into the next movie, I think they got a problem. So I think we're talking about Brian Price here.